wow, I just started saying this goal a month ago, and now all of a sudden I'm starting to feel things and see things that are like adding up to maybe make this happen. And that's your RAS at work. What is going on, my friends? Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Morning Takeaway. I'm actually shooting a little late night episode tonight, and I just want to come at you with a little rant that's been on my mind since this little story happened the other day, and I think it's really, it can really translate into other areas of life, and I'm going to try to be as super quick as I can today and not take too much of your time, but if there is something that I say that you take away and you feel like yourself or a family member, a friend would take it and be able to do something with that, I always say if somebody could get on a microphone and a camera and change my life, I hope that I could at least provide a little value to one person, and if that spreads, I am fulfilled. So with that said, and while you're here on the YouTube, don't forget to drop a like, comment on here, give me your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But without further ado, I would like to jump into this really quick, and I want to talk about how our words dictate our life. And I want to start with a story. I was talking to somebody in the gym the other day, and he's somebody I look up to. He's somebody that I kind of look to as a mentor, and just so experienced and so down to earth and grounded and disciplined in his practices and in tune with how his mind connects with what he speaks. And when I say this, I say this because he was so analytical in this scenario where I'm talking about my goals in my life and where I would like to go and where I see myself. And I hate the word fear. And I think the word fear is so... We live in a world of fear. And it just kind of slipped in the midst of conversation. And he stopped me and he said, now, I understand that if you if you don't like that word, but you said it, so it's there. And if you're operating from a place of fear, you're operating from a place of pain. And you have to dig deep into that specific word, right? And that specific feeling. If you're operating from a place of pain, maybe you're scared, maybe there's something that you are inside that is stopping you from where you want to go, right? And you have to break through that. And I started thinking about this from a more fundamental level, and because he kept going on, as I trip over my words, he kept going on to basically say, and you could see it in his eyes and how the confidence that he speaks with, how in tune he is with what he was saying. And I think that's really what separates, I don't want to say success, but a fulfilled life and mindset and being in tune with the thoughts we think and the thoughts that we choose to accept and the thoughts that we choose to put into place in order to act and be disciplined in our values and our standards and our daily practices. And I say this because self-talk is one of the biggest things that I think I came to grips with when I was probably in high school, just thinking about from a positive mindset standpoint. And one of the biggest things that I'll never forget, and I try to stick to it, my junior college coach basically changed my language, and I've always been cognizant of it since. Whenever you say have to and change that to get to, you immediately have a mindset shift in a more positive connotation, right? So have to versus get to. And then the words that we use to manifest things in our life. I am excited for today. Today will be a great day. I will have the power to have an awesome day. Like whatever you want to say to yourself. And it might be a little woo-woo, but talking to yourself you're talking to yourself all the time, whether you know it or not. Subconsciously, consciously, I do talk out loud, so that's conscious, but subconsciously, these thoughts that are controlling our brain, there's something called the RAS, the reticular activating system. And you might not know exactly what that means, but you've done it before. So think to a time when you've never seen a red Ferrari before, and you finally see one, and that same week you see 7 red Ferraris. Well, it's not because you hadn't seen them before. Your reticular activating system just turned that on a little bit more and said, hey, I'm going to be on the lookout subconsciously a little more for red Ferraris. So let's attribute that to our brain and how our brain works. We have tens of thousands of thoughts going on in our brain every single day. And how we talk to ourselves and how we choose to accept thoughts in or think about certain situations, whether we say it out loud or not, it's crossing through that RAS. And it's crossing through your brain. It's in your brain. You feel those things. When you're depressed, you have these thoughts. I've been there. You have these self-pity, I want to stay in bed all day, I feel sorry for myself, right? Like, I've been there. I know that feeling. You get a little more hunched over. And then there's times when you're super happy and everything in your brain is just, nothing can go wrong, right? And you're in a state of bliss and you're living beautifully and you're excited for that next thing and that next thing and that next thing. And if we can just start taking those subconscious thoughts that, hey, this is how I feel today, I recognize it, and I'm going to speak it into existence that I'm going to manifest a great day or a great future or your goals. That's why we talk about saying your goals out loud. I do it every day. I do it 5 times, do it 7 times technically through 10 different goals every single day out loud by myself after my meditation. The first 5 times is I will do this or I will achieve this by this date of this year. For 5 times, and then on the 6th and 7th time, I will say I believe that I will do this by this time or the deadline, right? So I'm saying it out and I'm making my brain believe it. And if anything, I'm triggering that RAS to say, hey, be on the lookout for these things, or hey, be on the lookout for things that might pertain to that long-term goal. And before you know it, you start attracting some pretty weird things and you start paying attention to things that you may not have noticed, or like, hey, this really adds up. Like, wow, I just started saying this goal a month ago and now all of a sudden I'm starting to feel things and see things that are like adding up to maybe make this happen. And that's your RAS at work. And I just wanted to put this out there in case that's a kind of a practical thing and I think being present is a huge part in that, and meditation and different practices that I use are meditation. I love the app Headspace. I journal morning and night. I think there's a company, my journal is from Papier, Papier, not affiliated with Headspace or Papier, I don't know how you say that, but that's a great one. I think it's called the Wellness Journal, and it kind of lines everything up for you, how you need to track it. It's the exact one I use. I've actually thought about coming out with my own. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments, and I'll pursue that. But anyways, just little practices to help you, and then just noticing, like, when you're on a walk or in nature, like, wow, I feel really great. I really enjoy the fresh air on my face, or just little practices like that, being mindful of what's around us, and it all really just adds up to using that RAS and using our subconscious, figuring out ways to rewire our subconscious thoughts to work for us, right? And really overall change our full state of being and overall well-being if you can put that practice into practice consistently over time. And I just wanted to put that out there because that's something that's been super prominent in my life, and I enjoy talking about it. So before we close this thing out, I said I was going to be short. It's already at 9.5 minutes. We're going to generate a random question for a little fun here at the end. lighten up the mood. What is the biggest wager you've ever made? Wager. I feel like when it talks about wagers, it's talking about betting. I don't really bet. I don't gamble. Okay, actually, I bet on the March Madness this year. I put money on St. Mary's, or I think it was, can't even remember, St. Pete maybe, to beat Purdue. And I was in Vegas at the time. And sure enough, they won. And I won a bunch of money and had a lot of fun with my friends at a bachelor party. So, woohoo. I don't get all that crazy jazzed up into wagering or gambling. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if I said something that resonated with you or maybe that you took away from the morning takeaway, send it over to somebody. It helps me out, and I would be truly fulfilled to know that you are sharing what I have to say. So with that said, I hope you have an awesome freaking day. I'll see you next time. Catch you on the next vlog. This is on a Thursday, so I'll see you on Sunday for another vlog. I believe it is... don't count me on it. You'll just see the vlog on Sunday. With that said, have an awesome freaking day, and don't forget to smile.